Alrighty then. Successful Indie Author 5-Minute Focus, episode 1154. Failure. People talk about writer's block and imposter syndrome and all of those things that we can embrace as a complete and utter failure. Our failure. We're failures. I'm a failure. Stop it. If the goal was to climb a tree and you're a fish, you fail. Not only will you will fail every single time for all time. But if the goal is to swim, guess what? Guess how that fish does? Hell of a lot better than you, who can climb the tree and sit up on the branch and laugh at the fish not being able to climb the tree. So you have to ask yourself, are you ill-suited for this task? Are you a fish trying to climb a tree? Or are you just ill-experienced, untrained? Like, if you're human, you should be able to climb a tree, right? Well, not necessarily. It takes some upper body strength. It takes being able to get a grip. Are you judging yourself by the wrong standards? Are you in an area that doesn't suit you? That's writers. Some writers are writing genres that they think will sell and not genres that speak to them. And I can't emphasize this enough. You got to write what you like. You got to write what you like to read, because guess what? You're going to reread it and you're going to live it. You have to get into this story much more than your readers. You have to live it in your mind. Yes, you want to translate that to the reader experience so they're living it in their mind. Think about the movie The Never-Ending Story. This is you. You determine the story. Well, if you don't live it, if you're not loving it, then guess what? That's painful. And now it's too much like work. And who the hell wants that? Accept failure for what it is. Is it you, or is it what you're working on, or is it temporary? And almost all failures are just temporary until you learn better, until you go a different way. Because if you're driving down the street and it's blocked because the bridge is out, guess what? You just failed. Now, turn around, go around, find a different way. You can't get there from here. Well, if you're in your car, guess what? You're not going to get to orbit. Unless you're in that Tesla that they launched into orbit. And now it's flying around in space. So if you are in a spaceship, your chance of hitting a car previously was 0, but now it is not 0. It might be infinitesimally small. However, it's not 0. You could still get in a car accident in space. That's crazy. Who would have thought that? Well, we're not going to judge ourselves by that, because that would be a complete and utter failure if you hit a car with your spacecraft while flying in space. You got to gauge things that apply. Don't consider yourself a failure unless you quit completely. If you're writing and you think you're writing good stories, but you haven't sold any books, or you haven't done this, you haven't done this other stuff because all you want to do is write, guess what? Yeah, you are going to fail. You're not going to sell those books. They're not going to magically jump out of Amazon, because there's millions of books. So there's some kind of competition. However, how did you try to position yourself? Did you look at how to market those? Did you make sure that the covers were genre aligned with the biggest genre equals marketing, the biggest group of readers that might like your book? Which, of course, is unique. You wrote it. It's unique. It's not so unique that it's not like other books. Give yourself some latitude. Give yourself some grace on failure, because you are not the failure. You're just not experienced enough. You're just not trained enough at what you want to do. And you really have to want it, because as an author, guess what? You are going to fail. You are going to fail over and over, but you don't have to fail completely. Me, if I'd have looked at my first 4 books in the first 3 months that I published them and gauged my entire career off those, I would have stopped being an author after those 3 months, because those weren't selling at all. Misaligned covers, didn't have professional editing, all stuff that was easily fixable. Yes, easily, because I had the money to buy new covers and do stuff like that. But fix that, but still the stories were sound. If your stories are sound, you can always sell them. You can always sell a good story, just maybe not right now, maybe not with that cover, maybe not with that blurb, but eventually you might be able to. And that's where you keep plugging, because now you've got more books in that series and you can tout it and you get some good reviews and you can use those as leverage. There's so much opportunity that you can take advantage of if you don't let yourself fail. You're going to fail, but are you going to fail up or are you going to fail down? Because if you fall down and you don't get up, that's a complete failure. But if you fall down and you get up, that's a learning experience. So accept that for what it is. Know that sometimes you are ill-suited. If I tried to write romance, I would fail completely, utterly, and I would hate being an author and be miserable. Okay, that's a great space if you can write it. I can't. I accept that. I write sci-fi. People love my sci-fi. I love my sci-fi. So guess what? That's where I'm best suited, not where I'm ill-suited, like a round peg trying to fit in a square hole. Unless that round peg is really small and you just shove it in there. Sometimes that works, but we're not going to do that. We're going to have a square peg. We're going to fit it in the square hole. Life is good. So experience, know that you're on the right track, feel that you're on the right track, and use your mind to make sure that your feelings are aligned, and then go forth and conquer. Because otherwise, don't let your failure be complete. Know what you're doing, know where you want to go, and then go there. Peace, fellow humans.